Your main man returns, and today our video is going to be about the Showman. This is another awesome player types. The Showman is a player who wants to bring the excitement and the adrenaline. He looks at a scene and he says, okay, how can I produce my character in this scene to make it pop, to make it sizzle, to give the game master as much energy as possible, to bring enjoyment to the other players and to myself. What kind of wild and crazy antics can I employ? What strange ideas? Now, there's a ton of concepts, and I'm not even going to mention all of them, but just a few that pop to mind. You know, the wrestler. You're going to grab people, or the kung fu guy with very descriptive fighting styles. The swashbuckler who will jump around and hang from the chandelier. The Indiana Jones type of explorer. And there's so many ways you can work this in, from a major point to a more minor point, to really bring the show and be a showman and be a showstopper and a show stealer and get the game master really excited. I have played with a few game masters over the years who are a bad type of game master, the player hater, and the player hater often doesn't like you to have fun, and they will hate the showman. They will definitely not be enjoying that there is a showman. So the Showman is in need of a game master who appreciates that style. I love to have characters play a showman's type character. It doesn't matter across the line anyone you want to play, man. You give me more vivid descriptions, you give me more details. You come in the scene not to go, okay, well, I'm going to stand back here and take a 5-foot adjustment, and we're going to set up a standard operating procedure, and then you move in for the flank, and we're going to have you stand behind me and buff you with spells. I will take your dice and throw them up in the air, and then volleyball spike them right into your face if you pull that nonsense on me. I want people to go, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to sell like crazy. I'm going to get on the ground. I'm going to cry. I'm going to flail about. I'm going to grab a have at you, and we're going to get in there and feel the filth. We're going to see the sweat and believe and enjoy. And I'm going to describe at each and every combat exactly what we're doing and make it vivid, make it interesting, make it different, to try to portray what you're going to see in a good action fantasy type movie. That's what you have. It's an action sequence. Fighting is an action sequence. You should have an undercutting of horror for sure. But when you can bring it up, man, when it's I hit 3 points of damage. No. It's boom, and you bring the noise and you bring the excitement, the exhilaration, and get the players really amped up around you. And then they go, oh, he's doing all this cool stuff. Damn, I need to do something cool on my turn. And I damn well hope they do. Because it's all about that, making that stable, making that tag team experience. Everybody kind of stepping it up and bringing it a little bit more. I love to play the show, like I said, in so many different ways. In fact, there's going to be almost universally some showman in every character I play. Sometimes I'll dial it up or dial it down, depending on the game master, what I know about them, what I think they're going to like. If I want to play a character who has like a more of a maybe like a fantasy version of a pro wrestler, I wouldn't do that in a game where the game master has no idea what I'm doing. I was like, what are you doing? You know, but when I've done that, like in a game where a game master understands where, you know, what I explain, well, this is like this, and particularly if the other players do. And then, I mean, they'll start really rocking and rolling with that kind of tactic. I have, you know, done all sorts of things with that. You know, you're describing moves and how you're doing things. You're trying to set things up so that you can make seamlessly, you know, make certain moves happen instead of, so you're reacting. When you have a character like that, you have to react. Like if, you know, he brings in, oh, this guy comes in and does this. Oh, he does that. I want to grab him and, you know, I'm going to throw him like this. Or, oh, I do that. You know, we give him a big elbow. You know, I'm giving you just a real quick, because we're going to go with real vivid descriptions of the bone-jarring pain, the crunching jaws and teeth, and, you know, the feel. And you're going to grab the game and start, brother. You know, so that you really have that experience when you can start vibing and building the energy. You know me, I am all about building the energy, about trying to make the game master have the best time they can. If you're running a game that I'm enjoying, man, I want you to enjoy running that game out, because the way I win is by you coming back and running the game that I enjoy. Remember, that's how you win role-playing games. If you're enjoying the game and the game master runs it again, because there's always again, right? So if you continue on doing that deal, well, that's awesome. The way you lose, game master stops running it. All treasure is imaginary. You don't get to take it home with you. You do get to take home awesome moments. So I play for awesome moments. And I'll have people even now, you know, even 20 years after the fact, oh man, remember when you did this in the game? Like, who are you? You know, so that kind of tells you right there that for me the interest is not in, okay, well, I can sneak attack for $1 billion. It's like, you know, okay, well, I got some sneak attack damage, but how can we take that and tell a story with it? How can we use these different mechanical aspects to tell a story? How can we use all these parts of the character sheets, these feats, these combat strengths? How can we use my acrobatics? Acrobats, I love acrobatic type characters. God, I love them. They're wonderful. I love using whips and flying around off chandeliers, dropping an elbow on somebody, drop toe holding somebody into a pit of fire, and the greatest thing of all time. And I'll tell you this right now, for the Showman, there is no move that's better than the press slam off the turret. You get up on top of that building, you take that foul cultist, and you go, and you just toss him right off. And if he's not desecrated, off you come with a 40-foot drop with a big elbow, splat, 1, 2, 3. There's nothing in a game that is more awesome to me than grabbing someone and throwing them off of something very high. There's something so viscerally exciting and entertaining to me. A game gets ratcheted up multiple points if I get to have that scene at any point. Not that every single character I have is even strong enough. You know, I actually will play characters that are incredibly weak. I played a D&D character not that long ago, just 6 strength. He wasn't throwing anybody anywhere, you know. He might have got thrown off somewhere. I would have sold that. I would have enjoyed that too. That would have actually been quite entertaining because he was not heavy at all, like 70 pounds maybe, something like that. So, having a character, but when I play a strong brawler, I don't want to play a brawler. Because God, I hate sword and board. God, I hate it. It's just been done to death for me. I've seen it so many times. I'm like, well, how about I just body slam you and your sword and board go down 40 feet with you and you're all broken pile of mangled, mashed individuals down at the bottom of the well. And that's where you belong. So for me, that is such a rush. In the words of the immortal Hawk of Legion of Doom Road Warrior fame. I greatly enjoy that. That's for me the epitome of playing a big, strong guy. A lot of people, you see a big, strong guy over and over again because people want that bonus to damage, right? That's why I did a big, strong guy. But for me, it's because I want to pick you up. I want to pick you up, and I want to pick the hill giant up too. That's the epitome. Like, you know, you get up there, you're like, oh, I can get the ogre, and like the ogre does that old 80s, and he falls, and but eventually you get high enough so you can scoop slam the ogre. Then you'd be looking at that hill giant like, oh, what if I pick you up too? I'm gonna slam me a hill giant. So, you know, for me, and I like to use, if I'm going to use weapons, I like to use interesting fighting styles. I really want to play, is it Rete? Gosh, I can't, it slipped on my head. I know it. I am a little sick. I'm getting over being sick, and it does affect the memory a little bit, oddly enough. With the flu, I guess I had something like that. I think that's what's called Rete. Is it R-E-T-E? Anyway, with a trident and a net. I'm going to watch the Spartacus. Like, oh, I could do some bad stuff in a game with this. With some trip attacks with that net. With some just, you know, Steve Roger and the trident that people pinning on this stuff. I said, oh, we're going to have some fun with this. So that's a big idea of mine in the game, to play someone that fights with that fighting style, because I can really have some visuals of how I'm gonna fight to make it entertaining. The last thing I never ever like to play for 5 damage. I played the Warlock class before. And God, oh boy, is that thing boring to me, because it's like blast. And, you know, I don't get me wrong, I described Eldritch Blast, but I mean, I don't describe the same thing every round and every round and every round. I mean, that's all you do. And I mean, I want to Eldritch Blast myself, turn my hands inward, and just boom, sort my own nugget out. That's what we're talking about right now, is the Showman. I want to know what you think about a Showman. Do you think about playing for the excitement, playing not for the win of combat, but for the win of enjoyment, for the treasure being the game master, wanting to come back and push. Hold on for just a minute. Wanting to come back and push the excitement into pace and say, oh, that's the guy right there. That's the guy that brought it all and gave me everything he had, brought and saw the scenes. You know, seeing the scenes of the game master's design. Saying, okay, well, how can I use that to my advantage? How can I take this terrain and use it? And when you give me terrain, I will use all of it. You gave me stairs, well, I'm going to be jumping off them stairs. Or I'm going to throw you off them. Or I'm going to throw you up them. You know, you never know, like, you know, if I got a scene like this, if I'm in the middle of the stairs, you got one guy coming at me this way, another guy this way, oh, guaranteed that one guy's going into the other guy. There is definitely going to be a rocket launcher, one man to the next. Guaranteed there's going to be the meeting of minds using the scenes. And a lot of times, I've had people ask me this sort of question too. Oh, in D&D, you can't do this stuff. There's no can't. It's just a game master just trying to design, okay, mechanically, there's no way you could do that. One of the big problems I've had in running Dungeons and Dragons 3.0 and 3.5 is what happens when you pick someone up and throw them at someone else. Now, this might not seem like an issue to some of you, but when it happens in every single campaign you're involved in or running, it can be a little bit of an issue. So I've mechanically junked around and kind of figured out, okay, let's actually trip attack, and it gets a little, stretch the rules a little bit, and it gets a little clunky, but it's definitely something you can do. You could, you have like that 20 strength, you're like, yeah, and you just throw one orc into another, or two more, who knows, taking that old WCW car crash bump of everyone just trying to catch the man. I can totally see it, and when I see it, it's going to happen. It's got to happen. You might have to make a roll, but, got the roll probably, you're probably going to be all right with that. So that mechanically, that was always an issue for us. That was mechanically probably our biggest concern. My biggest concern was seeing in the game. I'm trying to figure out how to take the rules and make that, because I always want to. It's always yes. It's not always want to see. It's always yes, but instead of just ruling something on the side, figuring it out. Other things I like to do, I don't really keep it loose. You got mounts involved. Oh, well, I'm gonna grab you and yank you off your mount, and then I might get on your mount like we was playing Golden Axe. Because I not only like to have mounts and stuff like that, I like my mount to be getting in combat, but if you have a mount, that's going to be exciting. Because they're like, oh, hey, he's up on his horse now. He's trying to stampede a man. Oh, no, he's riding around a cockatrice tail whipping everybody. Oh, no, what's going on? What kind of craziness this dumb broke loose? And if there's plunder, and there's always plunder, sometimes I'll play a character who will be like a wrestler type guy, but I won't carry any weapons. But I always sort of rely on what's around. And they'd be like, oh, well, you're in this back alley. There's what's in there? There's some crates or some barrels. What's good? Oh, there's a barrel over here. There's some wine in it. Makeshift weapon is good. Okay, you can just do some interesting things right there with using the terrain, throwing people. If we're playing a modern game, throwing them right into the garbage, and so forth. Just really for the show, it's all about taking the scene and getting the most out of it. How do I do that? And I'm not playing the battle map and getting the most out of that. I've had game masters actually stop me and say, oh man, no, you can't do that. You're going to evoke 20 attacks of opportunity. I say, roll your dice, fool. Roll them. You ain't telling me what I can and can't do. I know what attack opportunity is. I'm going there. I have this amount of movements. I'm on your battle grid. Your rules you have laid out to me says I can go from here to here. I don't care about your attacks opportunity. Roll your dice. Let's see what happens. All right. Particularly like if you're playing someone that has like tumbling, because you like at least have a chance. When I'm playing an acrobatic type character, I'll describe because I'm rolling the dice, like how I'll just go over just their helmet right over their eyes. They're like, oh, just jumping around, playing the acrobatic type character. Man, they're so much fun when you really look at it and think about how you do cartwheel and move and tumble and slide through people's legs. Just like you're looking at a high action type of fantasy scene, like in a tavern brawl, you're sliding around, jumping up on tables, kick one guy in the face, missile drop kick somebody, jump up, grab the chandelier, swing with two knees to the nugget, whatever you need to do, to keep it interesting. It's not like, well, we just kicked that one guy and that does the same damage. Let's do that again. No, I'll just make the jump roll because I rather would do this. Oh, well, you have to, no. We'll make it. Okay. Oh, I just made it. My dice says no. My dice are good on one thing. When someone tells me no, my dice say, oh yes, we will. My dice do agree with me on that. Usually they be trying to jack me, but on that one we are pretty much copacetic. So, and that's another game lesson for gamers out there. Don't ever tell your players no. Like unless it doesn't make sense. You're like, well, I'm gonna shoot this guy. Well, you don't have any arrows on, man. How are you gonna do that? Oh, well, I just want to. I don't care about my arrows. Let me shoot. No, dude, you've used all your arrows up. You can't shoot him. Oh, all right. I'll be counting. You had 20 of them. I counted all 20 shots, man. And you used all your arrows up. You need to keep track of that. It's something like that. You tell me, yeah, no, but you can't tell them. They can't take that crossbow and just smash a man in the mouth. That's what I'll be doing. Hell, I might take crossbow from you and hit somebody. Just gimmick come with it, using that play style. And it's basically what it's about, is bringing the entertainment value, the excitement. And it all comes back down again before anyone goes, oh, that's not playing a character. It comes down to making a character that is that guy. That whether you're a kind of a drunk lout that just tries to brawl for all with a man, or you're full of vigor and daring do. You want to go out there and have that aspect. Oh, you could do the same thing when you're playing a wizard, man. You could just go in there and really describe stuff up and come up with like weird things, spells that work in different ways. Outside of the standard, You can summon that stuff off to the side. Do things that are different and engage the spells in a certain way where you're really describing it good and vivid and using things. Well, okay, well the spell says to do this, so I'm using this situation to do that. Oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. Well, what happened now? One of the definite ones I think a lot of people have used in situations like that is create water, trying to figure out that. Now I'm talking about destroy the water inside of like an 18th level spell or something. I'm talking about just trying to make people slip or blast them in the face and confuse them for a minute, things like that, where you can kind of bring in some more interest to the aspect of the spellcaster, because it's not spellcasters work great because they give you all the components and stuff. Particularly like, and you think about it. Well, I had this crystal prism in my hand. You're like casting your spell, and then like a monster gets over. You're like, oh, a crystal prism right to the monster's dome. Look, you don't have a weapon in your hand. You have a crystal prism in my hand. The spell says so right here. You're like, oh, trust me. There's no reason a wizard can't just take a crystal prism and just start working stiff on a man like he's a manager from the 80s. He can start gigging a man, making him bleed. And the game master with you, man, you can have a great thing. I mean, I would definitely take my crystal prism and start attacking somebody with it, start gigging him and just ripping it in the face, making him bleed. I don't care if it's 1 point of damage. I got that point of damage on that monster, and it's going to be good. So, you've been your main man, Andrew Wood, and I'm going to ask you about your views on the Showman, what you feel about the Showman, and show me. You understand? Let me understand your feelings. Are you this type of character? What do you feel about this type of character? Have you seen it? Have you enjoyed it? What other types, other than what I'm talking about, do you see and feel that fall into this category?